Hello and welcome to another Bushwhacker review. Today we are going to be taking a look at NASCAR Authentics Wave 3 for 2021. We finally have our first real 2021 wave, with 6 of the cars in this wave being 2021 primary paint schemes. If you don't know, the first 2 waves were of course the All-Star wave and the Race Twin wave, but were both 2020 car filled, but this is the first time we've actually got 2021 cars for a 2021 wave. Here's one of the Loganos in the package. You see 2021 Wave 3, and you see all the cars on the back of the package. The Ryan Newman Oscar Mayer is the liquid color chase piece for this wave. This is honestly a solid wave, but definitely on the weaker side. I do think that they should release primaries for some of the top teams every year, but I think they should kind of change it up a little bit because some of these are just... we get them all the time. I love Logano scallop car and I'll buy it every time. But, we literally just got that, 4 waves ago. For some reason, they took their sweet time releasing the 2020 Logano primary. It didn't come out till, December of last year for some reason. But, this year they, released it early on in the waves. But, like I said, I feel like that car should be kind of released every year just because it is, an iconic car at this point. But, why would you choose Blaney's Dex Imaging instead of, a Menards or something? I mean, Harvick, their hands are tied. They're not going to release a Busch beer car, so whatever. But, why don't we just hop right into this with Aric Almirola's Smithfield car? This is disappointing to get. This car is a huge peg warmer. Whenever it gets released, Aric Almirola's stuff just sits on the pegs. So the fact they keep re-releasing it every couple waves is just, weird. Aric Almirola's had an awful season. This has got to be one of the worst seasons I've ever seen. He has DNF'd, half the races. He's been the anti-diecast. Out of all the things they've actually, pulled for him this year, this primary is the only thing getting made. Even his Mark Martin throwback couldn't get made. Like I said, Aric Almirola is just one of the biggest peg warmers. Nobody seems to really like buying his cars, so it's strange that they keep putting him in waves. Out of the All-Star wave, his All-Star car was one of the biggest peg warmers of that wave, and then whenever they release this primary, it just sits on the pegs for a long time. I'm not sure what else they could release for Almirola if they wanted to still release an Almirola car, but said this is definitely going to be the weakest car of the entire wave right here. The Smithfield car is okay, but it's definitely getting a little bit boring over the years. Said I don't mind when paint schemes stay the same, but I kind of want a paint scheme that's actually eye-catching and makes you want to look at it and buy it all the time, like Logano scallop car. But this one just doesn't do it for me. Jeez, that doesn't look really good on the name rail there. Half the name is gone. Just noticed that. But anyways, let's get on to the next one. We've got Kevin Harvick's 2021 Mobil 1 Ford for Stewart House Racing. Like I said, this one, their hands are tied. They got to release Harvick's, and they can't really release any Busch beer cars, so you're pretty much only going to get this. But also, I would have rather gotten the 2021 Hunt Brothers Pizza car. That's actually a new paint scheme this year. So if you wanted a, early release Harvick car, I would say do that one, not this one again. I have never been a fan of this Mobil 1 car. The metallic silver flames are kind of nice, but at the same time, it's just a very plain car. With the amount of colors Mobil has and the kind of cool cars they've had over the years, it's kind of a shame that they've gotten so lazy lately. Harvick before this had just the white car with the red border on the bottom, and now they have just a black car with a few flames. Luckily, Mobil 1 is starting to run some cool special paint schemes. They ran that awesome metallic gold Mobil Busch car at COTA, and then in the Coca-Cola 600, he has a patriotic Mobil car. The flames have turned into flags and got flags on the back. So that's kind of cool. But like I said, this is another one that's going to peg warm a little bit. I've already seen, anytime I've seen this wave, these 2 cars are the 2 that are always left. That's just kind of a shame. Next up, we've got Ryan Blaney's Dex Imaging 12 car for Team Penske. Why do they keep giving us the Dex Imaging car? Seriously, you could release the Menards car. You could have different hood sponsors every year. There's a reason to buy the car every year. But nobody wants to keep buying the Dex Imaging car every year. It looks nice. Like I said, the bright red with the white scallops is a nice version of the scallop car, but just seems like a very odd choice for all the Authentics cars you can make for Blaney. Why do they keep releasing this one? Does Dex Imaging, want this to be in stores? Is that what, are they asking for this to be in Authentics? Is that why? Especially if you're going to get the same paint scheme every year, I'd rather get, the body armor. That body armor primary is a really nice looking car. But, so this one's a little bit disappointing. Next up, we have Joey Logano's Shell Pennzoil Ford for Team Penske. Like I said, this one I do think should get released in Authentics every year, just because it's so iconic at this point, and it just, pisses people off, which is even funnier. But, I mean, space it out a little, guys. Like I said, they waited so long to release the 2021, and now, like, 4 waves later, we're getting the same primary again. I'm sure people are going to skip this car just because they just bought it, and they don't even think this is any different. Wow, that does not look good on the money line right there. These cars are getting more and more little quality control issues lately. Definitely a shame, but I said Lionel's going to have to rush them out lately. I'm sure they're really just going hardcore right now, so that's probably why we're getting more and more. A few chips on the back. You see the front end isn't even symmetrical. That should be much lower and over here. Oh well. Like I said, I'll buy Logano's scallop car every single year it gets released. I'm never going to stop buying this car, and I'll still buy the 124 and review it every year. Said, I'll keep saying it every single time, over and over again. This is a very iconic paint scheme at this point. Whether or not some of you Logano haters can accept that or not. It honestly does sell decently well. Like, it's some places at Pegworm for a little bit, but this one sells quicker than stuff like the Amarola. So, this sells better than I think a lot of people think it would. But now let's get to the more interesting new stuff out of this wave. We'll start off with Ryan Newman's Oscar Mayer Hot Dogs Ford for Roush. A brand new paint scheme for Oscar Mayer this year. And I think this is my favorite Oscar Mayer primary so far. This just looks very, very nice. It has that bright orange. You got yellow around the front. You got kind of a mustard splash down the side. A picture of a hot dog. My only complaint with this car is that it has hot dog in text all over the car. I mean, in the past, they've been doing just like the actual photos of the hot dog ghosted on the car. So I don't know why they stopped that, because that looks a lot better than just the word hot dog over and over. That's my only complaint about this car. I will probably be getting the 124 of this, so you'll see a review on that whenever that comes out. But looks like Lionel did finally get the color right. This one's a lot better orange than they have the last couple years. It still isn't matte. Like I said, every single year the Oscar Mayer car is matte, and for some reason they keep not making it matte. But they at least got the color right this time. And this one does look pretty nice. This one definitely does stand out on the pegs, just with the colors. So that's a very nice release for 2021. And also, we have the other Roush car. We've got Chris Buescher's Fastenal Ford. His new Fastenal paint scheme. Not a bad car. I definitely do like these Fastenal cars with the white better. The ones that were just kind of blue with like black around the bottom just weren't really as exciting. Fastenal just looks better with the bright white and the blue combination. Chris Buescher's been having a kind of breakout season this year. You know, Homestead especially. He won a stage and actually seemed like he could win a race for Roush. Seems like things are definitely looking up for Roush. Have to see what works if that Brad Keselowski thing actually does go through and is true. Have to see what he can do for Roush. It seems like Roush is definitely on the upswing this year. Would be nice to see if they could get a win this year with somebody. Hopefully Newman, because I don't know how many years Newman has left. So we'll look for him to get one final win. And that's it for the 2021 cars. Now let's get to the 2020 cars. First up, we have Kyle Busch's Skittles Zombie Toyota. This is the car he ran and won with in the Texas Fall Race last year. Interesting to point out is for some reason this clean version of the car, they made a metallic silver. It looks fantastic, but the car wasn't metallic, so that's very strange. They also gave this car the playoff markings for some reason. That's funny. Said he was obviously eliminated by this point. I imagine that it was either on the artwork, like the artwork that they sent to Lionel, I imagine they assumed that Kyle would not have gotten eliminated so early, so they just had it sent on the artwork, or somebody at Lionel was like, oh, it's Kyle Busch. He won in this car. He must have been in the playoffs. I don't know, but that is kind of funny that it has the playoff stuff. It honestly looks better with the metallic silver, like I said, but that is just something worth pointing out. I'm very curious to see when the race win comes out, if the race win is going to be metallic, or it's going to be the just regular gray like the car actually was. Definitely a really cool paint scheme. I'm glad they kind of branched out from the normal just Halloween M&M's car every year. I like when they do a Snickers Halloween car, or in this case, a Skittles one. See, there's a whole graveyard around the bottom. I will definitely be getting the 124 of this one. Probably wait for the Texas race version as opposed to the clean one. But although if the race one comes out and it isn't metallic, that may actually make me buy the clean one just because I like how this metallic looks. But this one is definitely going to be one that's flying off the pegs. And last but not least, we have the obligatory double Chase Elliott releases in the wave that they have to shove into every wave. We have a good choice of car right here. We got Chase Elliott's Give a Hoot Hooters pink car. I just reviewed the 124 of this one a couple weeks ago. So if you want a more detailed review, go check that out. So just a very cool paint scheme. The matte black with the bright pink. Looks very, very nice. This one does have the playoff marking correctly and everything. It was interesting that they gave us a Night Owl hauler, like the regular orange and black Night Owl had a hauler, but they never released it in Authentics for some reason. I mean, I imagine they'll release it in this year, since the paint scheme stayed the same, but, like, that was the strangest thing, that it's a very popular Chase Elliott paint scheme. They made a hauler for it, but then never actually released an authentic for it. They released his truck, but they never released the Cup car. So hopefully they kind of fix that. I think this one's also getting a hauler, too. I think there's a pink Hooters hauler as well. So be on the lookout if you want that. Like I said, this is definitely a good choice for authentics. I'm glad they released this. But now we got the obligatory championship car, which, like I said, if you're going to make a championship car in authentics, just wait for the race version. Nobody really likes these roof logo cars. Everyone kind of hates them. They always just sit around, and they never sell very well. I mean, Chase Elliott's, I'm sure, is going to sell well because it's Chase Elliott, but I mean, like I said, just wait for the Phoenix race one at this point. So this is the Phoenix version of the car with the neon yellow numbers. I think I've said in the past, the, thought of the yellow numbers for Jimmy Johnson was a cool idea, but it did not work for Chase Elliott here. I said the yellow with the neon Hendrick number mixed with the yellow from Napa, those do not work together well at all. That did not look good. It's funny to me that that's the car is going to be remembered for his championship win. All the years later is the car with the, very mismatched yellows. So, I mean, maybe if they could have, I don't know, I'm curious how this car would look if it had, like, yellow numbers that were the Napa yellow. Be interesting to see how that looks, but I guess then it wouldn't be the Hendrick yellow, so people would hate it. But, like I said, the obligatory championship car, it was, of course, going to be in a wave. Said I kind of wish they would spread out some Chase Elliott releases more than the same ones over and over again, but the Hooters car is nice. Like I said, definitely a weaker wave. There are definitely some cool cars in this wave, but like I said, getting primaries that we've gotten so many times before that are probably going to peg warm is definitely a little bit disappointing. It'd be interesting to see what else Lionel comes up with. I wonder if the next wave is still going to have a bunch of primaries. Like I said, they are kind of delayed this year. With the whole COVID thing, everything got delayed even more and more. So like I said, it's, we're only finally getting the 2021 primaries in June and July now. So that's, definitely not the norm for Lionel. Lionel usually has a lot of the primaries out by, like, Daytona. If you want this wave, it is in stores right now. You can go to Targets and Walmarts and find it. Pretty much the Skittle Zombies and the Pink Hooters are the two that are actually flying off the shelves. Everything else is just kind of sitting around. Which, I mean, come on. Buy Newman's Oscar Mayer car. That thing's awesome. But you might have trouble finding those two cars. Remember, for all of your diecast needs, you can go to circlebdiecast.com. And if you use the code BWhack, you get free shipping over $20. But I think it's pretty much all there is to say. This has been a review of the NASCAR Authentics Wave 3 for 2021. Hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.